Welcome to our channel. Today, we will explore some spine-chilling true stories from the state of Texas, a place where mysteries, legends, and supernatural phenomena intertwine, from haunted houses to unsolved murders and chilling urban legends that have terrified locals. Texas is not just known for its vast fields and hot climate, it's also home to many eerie secrets. Are you ready to discover stories so unsettling that you might not dare to go out alone at night? Let's dive in. The first story. The mysterious lights of Marfa. In a small town in Texas, Marfa is famous for its hauntingly beautiful phenomenon known as the Marfa lights, a mystery that has puzzled locals and visitors for over a century. These strange glowing orbs appear to hover over the desert, witnessed by countless people, yet no one can explain their origin. Some believe that these lights are the spirits of Native Americans who once inhabited the land. Others suggest they are the result of atmospheric phenomena or reflections from distant car headlights. However, reports of these lights predate the invention of automobiles, leading many to believe that something supernatural is at play. The legend behind the lights. Many years ago, a group of college students decided to travel to Marfa to witness this mysterious phenomenon for themselves. They had heard various stories about the strange occurrences from previous visitors, and these tales fueled their curiosity. One evening, a group of 4 friends, Mia, Jason, Sarah, and Tom, drove to Marfa. They arrived just after sunset, the sky ablaze with hues of orange and pink. As darkness enveloped the landscape, they settled into a prime viewing spot for the lights, a place that had been recommended by numerous travelers. As time passed, nothing happened, and the friends began to lose hope. Suddenly, Sarah, sitting at the edge of their group, pointed toward the desert. "Look over there," she exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder. A faint glow hovered in the distance, moving gently from side to side. As they focused on it, more lights began to appear, flickering in and out of view, dancing unpredictably. The group was captivated by the lights, but the more they watched, the more unease crept in. The lights seemed to be getting closer, moving toward them with a clear intention. The air became thick with tension, and a low humming sound filled their ears. A terrifying encounter. Without warning, one of the lights shot straight toward them at an incredible speed, gliding just inches above their heads before vanishing into the night. Panic erupted as the group jumped into their car, flooring the accelerator as they sped away from the viewing area. They could see the lights in the rearview mirror, trailing them for several miles before disappearing completely. To this day, the Marfa lights remain an unsolved mystery. Those who have witnessed the phenomenon are left with countless questions. Are they a natural occurrence? Or do they belong to another realm? Regardless of the explanation, the ghostly lights of Marfa continue to attract and terrify those who seek them out. The challenge of the Marfa lights. The story of the Marfa lights has become an integral part of the town's culture. Discussions and debates about their origin continue, ranging from natural phenomena to supernatural theories. Marfa has become a popular destination for adventurers and thrill seekers. Over time, more groups of young people flocked to Marfa, eager to experience the lights for themselves. Some claimed to have seen them, while others returned disappointed. Videos and images of the phenomenon flooded social media, yet no one could provide a satisfactory explanation for this enigma. One night, a new group of visitors from another city decided to test their luck. Armed with cameras and a determination to uncover the truth, they ventured into the area where the lights were most frequently reported. As they stood beneath the vast night sky, they felt a sense of magic in the air. After waiting for some time, the lights began to appear. But this time, they weren't just lights, they heard strange sounds, whispers and laughter echoing in the stillness. "They're calling us," one of the group said, excitement gleaming in their eyes. Little did they know that their curiosity and challenges would lead them to an unimaginable encounter. A night of terror. As the lights drew nearer, the group felt an overwhelming sense of dread. One of the lights began to move swiftly toward them, and they could feel its presence growing stronger. The atmosphere thickened, and an eerie sensation enveloped them. They exchanged worried glances, unsure whether to run or stay. Suddenly, one of the lights surged toward the group with incredible speed. They had no time to react, only to close their eyes and scream in terror. When they opened their eyes again, the light had vanished, but the air still felt heavy, as if something unusual was occurring. Feeling nauseated, They decided to leave the area. They sprinted back to their car. But as they looked back, the lights were still hovering behind them, following them closely. "We have to go. We need to get out of here," Mia shouted, and they all jumped into the car, driving off in a panic. The legacy of the Marfa lights. As they left Marfa, they carried with them not just memories but a mystery that remained unsolved. The lights continued to flicker in their minds, like an unanswered question that refused to fade. The Marfa lights had become an indelible part of their lives, a haunting memory that lingered. Over time, the legend of the Marfa lights continued to challenge the imagination of brave souls who dared to visit. Many still sought answers, while others simply wished to feel the magic of the glowing orbs dancing over the desert. Regardless of what one believes, Marfa is more than just a town. It is a place where the extraordinary converges with the supernatural, leaving anyone who steps foot there with a sense of wonder and fear. And a lingering question: what truly lies behind the mysterious lights of Marfa? Next we start the second story. The Ghosts of Alamo Quarry Market. Alamo Quarry Market in San Antonio, Texas, is a popular destination for shopping and entertainment. However, few know that this site was once an old cement factory, the Alamo Cement Company, where many workers labored and, in some cases, tragically lost their lives. The remaining chimneys stand as a testament to the industrial past of this location, and it is believed that the spirits of those lost still haunt the area. Strange phenomena at Alamo Quarry Market. Customers and employees at Alamo Quarry Market have reported various eerie phenomena, ranging from unexplained noises to shadowy figures seen from the corner of their eyes. Some have even claimed to hear the sounds of machinery operating and a man's voice commanding, as if the cement factory were still in operation. One night, a security guard named Mark was patrolling the area near the old chimneys when he heard footsteps trailing behind him. He turned around, hoping to see a colleague, but the path behind him was completely empty. As he continued walking, the footsteps became clearer, seeming to chase closely behind him, echoing in the quiet of the night. A ghostly encounter. Mark quickened his pace, but the footsteps remained right on his heels. Suddenly, he felt a cold breeze pass through, and out of the corner of his eye, he spotted a figure, an elderly man in dirty work clothes, his face serious and determined. The figure passed right by Mark and disappeared into the shadows of the old chimneys. Mark, too terrified to continue his patrol, quickly returned to the guard station and reported the incident. He vowed never to patrol that area alone again. The haunting reminder. The ghost stories at Alamo Quarry Market serve as a reminder that even in modern life, the past can still linger around us. The spirits of those who once lived and worked there still remain, leaving their marks for those sensitive enough to feel them. The tales of these restless spirits have added a layer of intrigue to Alamo Quarry Market, drawing visitors who are curious about its haunted history. As night falls, the atmosphere grows thick with anticipation, and those brave enough to wander through the grounds might feel the presence of those who have come before. Many patrons leave with more than just memories of shopping and dining. They carry with them the chilling tales of the ghosts that may still roam the old factory grounds, whether they hear whispers in the wind or catch glimpses of shadows. The allure of the past continues to captivate and terrify those who venture into this historic site. Conclusion. The legend of the ghosts at Alamo Quarry Market is not just a frightening tale but a reminder of the history and the people who were once connected to this place. When you visit, be open to the possibility of feeling the breath of the past and, perhaps, you will encounter the spirits lingering nearby, waiting to share their stories. Continue to the third story. The Restless Souls of Dead Man's Hole. Dead Man's Hole, located near Marble Falls, Texas, is a deep natural sinkhole with a dark and bloody history. During the Civil War, it became a notorious execution site for supporters of the Union and those deemed enemies of the Confederacy. These unfortunate souls were pushed into the hole, their bodies never to be found. According to local legend, the restless souls of these victims still haunt the area, unable to find peace after their violent deaths. Visitors to Dead Man's Hole have reported mysterious phenomena such as whispers, cold gusts of wind, and an unsettling feeling of being watched. Some have even claimed to see shadowy figures lingering around the hole, their shapes only visible in the dim light. The investigation begins. One night, a group of ghost hunters decided to investigate this infamous site, hoping to capture evidence of the supernatural. The group, consisting of 5 members, Jake, Lisa, Tom, Sarah, and Mark, arrived equipped with audio recorders, cameras, and necessary tools for capturing data on any unusual activities. As they approached the edge of the hole, a wave of dread washed over them, as if something was warning them to leave. Ignoring the sensation, they set up their equipment and began their investigation. Strange occurrences unfold. As the night progressed, the atmosphere became increasingly tense. The temperature suddenly dropped, and the sound of agonizing screams echoed from deep within the hole, sending chills down their spines. One of the investigators, Sarah, spotted a figure emerging from the darkness, the ghostly silhouette of a man, his face twisted in pain and fury. The group was horrified, quickly packing their belongings and rushing to leave, vowing never to return. Running from the past, when they reached their vehicle, they jumped in and sped away from Dead Man's Hole. A sense of safety only returned once they were far from the site. "We shouldn't have come here," Lisa gasped, and the others nodded in agreement. They knew the souls of Dead Man's Hole still lingered, trapped forever by the unjust deaths they had suffered, bound to this haunting location. The presence of lost souls. As the ghost hunters drove home, they couldn't shake the feeling of being followed, the ghostly presence still palpable in their minds. In the days that followed, they found themselves sharing stories about the dark history of Dead Man's Hole, and the legends of those lost souls became a central theme in their conversations. They began researching more about the history of Dead Man's Hole, and the tales of the victims' tragic fates became increasingly fascinating to them. They couldn't forget the image of the anguished man Sarah had seen, and the story of the restless souls became a significant part of their lives. The ongoing mystery, the story of Dead Man's Hole, spread throughout the community, attracting more curious souls, but not everyone was brave enough to confront the restless spirits. Many visited in hopes of catching a glimpse of the lost souls, but not all returned with thrilling experiences. Dead Man's Hole continued to haunt the minds of those who heard its tale. The restless souls remained, waiting for brave individuals to approach, seeking to experience the mystery that this place offered. The pain of those lost would never be forgotten, and Dead Man's Hole would forever be a part of Texas's haunting legacy. Continue to Story 4. Souls at Presidio La Bahia. Presidio La Bahia, located in Goliad, Texas, is a historic Spanish fortress that played a significant role in the Texas Revolution. It is also the site of the Goliad Massacre, where over 300 Texan soldiers were executed by Mexican forces. The bloodshed and pain that occurred within the walls of Presidio La Bahia have left an indelible mark, and many believe that the spirits of those soldiers still linger in this place. The haunting legend. Visitors to the fortress have reported a range of supernatural phenomena, from ghostly figures to disembodied voices echoing in the air. However, the most commonly seen apparition is that of a solitary soldier, dressed in tattered military garb, patrolling along the fortress walls. He is often spotted at dusk, his face shadowed with sorrow as he walks, the sound of his footsteps reverberating through the silence. The stories of ghostly encounters have attracted many history enthusiasts to the site, eager to experience the chilling atmosphere and perhaps catch a glimpse of the spectral soldier. A fateful night. One evening, a group of history buffs decided to spend the night at the fort, hoping to witness some of the famous paranormal activity that it is known for. They set up camp in one of the old barracks, the beam of their flashlights casting long shadows on the crumbling walls. As night fell, the atmosphere became thick with anticipation. Suddenly, strange sounds began to fill the air, the unmistakable sound of footsteps, whispers, and the clinking of metal against stone. The group exchanged nervous glances, excitement mingling with fear as they huddled closer together. Then, one of them, a young woman named Clara, caught sight of something moving in the darkness. "Guys, over there," she whispered, pointing toward the doorway. Standing in the shadows was a figure, a soldier, his uniform ragged and stained with what appeared to be blood, his eyes hollow and lifeless. The apparition stood silently, gazing at them for a moment. A chill ran down Clara's spine, and her heart raced as she realized the soldier was no ordinary man. He slowly turned away and stepped into the courtyard. Frozen in fear, The group was too frightened to move, paralyzed by the chilling sight before them. They watched in horror as the soldier continued his patrol, moving with a slow, deliberate pace as he disappeared into the night. "Did we really just see that?" one of the guys asked, his voice trembling. They all knew they had witnessed something extraordinary, yet terrifying. The ethereal presence of the soldier was palpable, a reminder of the tragic events that had unfolded within the walls of the fort. The air grew colder, and the sounds around them intensified. They could hear whispers that seemed to swirl around them, echoing the anguish of the soldiers who had once fought bravely for their cause. Each creak of the old building felt like the spirits were telling their stories, urging the living to remember. The morning after, as dawn broke, the group gathered their belongings, still shaken by what they had experienced. The memories of the ghostly soldier haunted them as they made their way out of the fort. They exchanged stories about the events of the night, each recounting the same feeling of dread mixed with awe. "I can't believe we saw a ghost," Clara said, her voice still shaky. "I felt so sad looking into his eyes." The others nodded in agreement, understanding the weight of the soldier's story. They left Presidio La Bahia knowing that the spirits of the fallen soldiers remained there, forever patrolling the grounds where their lives were tragically cut short. A lasting legacy. News of the ghostly encounter quickly spread among the local community and beyond. People began to flock to the fort, eager to experience the same chilling atmosphere and perhaps catch a glimpse of the haunted soldier. Tours were organized, and stories of the ghostly sightings became a staple of local folklore. Visitors reported hearing echoes of battle cries, the sounds of footsteps in the night, and sometimes even feeling a cold breeze brushing past them when they stood in the courtyard. Each story added to the legend of Presidio La Bahia, turning it into a destination for ghost hunters and history enthusiasts alike. Over time, the stories of the haunted soldier became woven into the fabric of Goliad's history. Local residents began to embrace the tales, sharing them with newcomers and tourists, creating an unbreakable bond between the living and the spirits of the past. A reminder of tragedy. The experiences of Clara and her friends served as a poignant reminder of the tragic history that unfolded at Presidio La Bahia. The spirits of the soldiers, unable to find peace, continue to roam the fort, their stories forever entwined with the land. As more people visit, the presence of the ghosts becomes more palpable, leaving an indelible mark on those who dare to stay after dark. The echoes of history are not easily forgotten, and the spirits of the fallen soldiers serve as a reminder of the sacrifices made in the name of freedom. Even as the years pass, the legend of the crying girl and the haunted soldier persists. New generations visit the fort, eager to connect with the past and perhaps experience the thrill of the unknown. Presidio La Bahia remains a testament to the enduring nature of history, where the spirits of the fallen continue to tell their stories, lingering in the shadows, waiting for those brave enough to listen. In the heart of Texas, the tales of Presidio La Bahia remind us that some stories never truly end. They live on in the whispers of the wind and the shadows that dance along the old walls, keeping the memories of the past alive for generations to come. Continue to the fifth story. The Lady by White Rock Lake. White Rock Lake, located in Dallas, Texas, is an ideal spot for picnics and outdoor activities. It is famous for its picturesque scenery and recreational activities such as boating and fishing. However, beneath that peaceful beauty lies a dark legend, the story of the Lady by the Lake. A ghost forever lingering by the water's edge, searching for her way home. The legend of the Lady by the Lake. Legend has it that many years ago, a young girl drowned in the lake on the eve of her wedding. This tragic death left her spirit restless. It is said that on foggy nights, she appears by the roadside near the lake, dressed in a soaking wet white gown, searching for something she has lost. Locals often whisper that if you stroll around the lake on dark nights, you might catch a glimpse of the girl gliding softly between the trees, her eyes filled with sorrow and longing for peace. A fateful night. One evening, a young couple, Anna and Mark, decided to drive to White Rock Lake to relax and enjoy the fresh air. They had heard about the legend but didn't truly believe in the supernatural. When they arrived, the sky was filled with stars, and the moonlight reflected off the lake, creating a romantic setting. After wandering around the lake, they decided to head back to the road leading out. Suddenly, Mark stopped the car, his eyes wide with surprise. "Look over there," he exclaimed, pointing toward the lakeshore. Anna followed his gaze and saw a slender figure, drenched in a white gown, standing silently by the water's edge. "She looks like she needs help," Anna said, worried. "We should stop," Mark decided, and they parked the car. The couple stepped out, approaching the girl, anxious for her safety. "Do you need help?" Mark asked. The girl didn't say a word, only nodded slightly, with an air of fragility. She climbed into the backseat of their car. The coldness radiating from her body sent shivers down Anna's spine. On the way home, as they drove, the couple tried to engage her in conversation. "Where do you need to go?" But she remained silent, staring out the window with a distant gaze and a pained expression. They could feel the heaviness in the air, a strange sensation spreading through their hearts. When they arrived at the address she had indicated, they turned around to look in the backseat, but it was empty. Water still dripped onto the seat where she had been sitting. An unsettling feeling rose within them, making them feel cold and uneasy. "What just happened?" Anna whispered, her eyes wide as she stared into the empty space. "She's gone." Confused and frightened, the couple decided to knock on the door of the house they had taken her to. An elderly woman answered, and as they recounted what had happened, she sighed, her eyes filled with sorrow. "She is my daughter," she said, her voice trembling. "She drowned in the lake on her wedding night. Many people have seen her ghost, still trying to find her way home." An unresting death. The couple, still shaking from the terrifying experience, left the house, filled with fear and sympathy for the tragic fate of the girl. They could not believe they had encountered the lady by the lake. The coldness and sadness haunted them as they drove away from the area. White Rock Lake continues to be a site filled with mysteries. Locals often avoid the shore at night, sharing the story of the lady to remind each other of the dangers and the pain that a restless soul must endure. The couple never returned to White Rock Lake after dark. They shared their story with friends, but no one truly believed what they had experienced. It was just one of many strange stories that occurred at this location. But for Anna and Mark, it was an unforgettable encounter, an enduring legacy. The tale of the lady by the lake has become one of the most famous legends of Dallas. Passed down from generation to generation, each time someone strolls around the lake at night, they feel as if they are being watched, and the anxiety about the ghostly girl rises anew. Many have come to the lake in hopes of catching a glimpse of the girl in the white dress. They have recounted seeing strange lights gliding over the surface of the lake, along with whispers carried by the night wind. The story has created an irresistible mystique around White Rock Lake, making it a must-visit destination for those who love to explore and seek the extraordinary. Eternity in memory. Though many years have passed, the lady by the lake remains an indelible image in the minds of the people of Dallas. Those who dare to venture near the lake at night can feel her presence. The chilling air, the whispers in the wind, and the silhouette of a girl in a white dress all evoke the memory of a life unfulfilled and a restless soul. The story of the lady by the lake is not just a legend but a lesson about love, loss, and the ties between the living and the dead. Everyone hopes that one day, her spirit will find peace. But until that day comes, she will continue to linger by the shores of White Rock Lake, forever searching for her way home. Continue to the sixth story. The haunting of Spohn Hospital in Corpus Christi, Texas. Spohn Hospital in Corpus Christi, Texas, has a long and tragic history, making it one of the most haunted locations in the area. Originally established in 1905 as Spohn Sanitarium, the hospital went through multiple iterations and expansions until it became what was known as Christi's Spohn Memorial Hospital. The facility saw countless patients throughout the years, and many of them never left its halls, either due to illness or unfortunate accidents. With so many tragic events occurring within its walls, it's no surprise that the hospital has gained a reputation for paranormal activity. Ghostly encounters. Many employees and visitors have reported eerie experiences, ranging from unexplained cold spots and whispers to full-bodied apparitions wandering the abandoned hallways. One of the most frequently spotted ghosts is said to be that of a nurse who met a tragic end in a car accident near the hospital decades ago. Staff members believe her spirit returned to the hospital where she once worked and continues to roam the halls, tending to patients that no longer exist. One night, a nurse working in the old wing of the hospital heard footsteps echoing through the empty hallway. Thinking it was a colleague, she called out, but there was no response. As the footsteps grew louder, she turned the corner and was shocked to see a figure in an old-fashioned nurse's uniform standing at the end of the hall. The nurse's face was pale, and her eyes seemed lifeless. She glided down the hallway without a word, disappearing into a room that had been sealed for years. Terrified, the young nurse fled the scene, only to find out later that she was not the first to witness this apparition. Lingering spirits and their stories. The most spine-chilling stories often involve shadow figures seen moving in and out of rooms that were long closed off. Some patients and visitors have even claimed that they felt a comforting hand on their shoulder, only to turn around and find no one there. One of the most haunted areas is said to be the old maternity ward, where faint cries of babies can sometimes be heard late at night. Despite the fact that the floor has been closed for years, there are also tales of a former doctor who passed away in the hospital under mysterious circumstances. His ghost reportedly still makes rounds, checking on patients in the psychiatric ward, where he used to work. Some patients have even described seeing a man in a white coat standing at the foot of their beds, only to disappear when the lights are turned on. The final chapter. Christi's Spohn Memorial closed its doors permanently in 2019, and in 2023, the hospital building was finally demolished. Despite its physical absence, many believe that the spirits who called Spohn Memorial home for decades are still lingering on the grounds. Unwilling to leave the place of their untimely demise, the land is currently vacant, and officials have announced that it will be reserved for future healthcare-related projects. But the stories of the ghosts that once haunted its halls continue to live on. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, there's no denying that Spohn Hospital's haunted reputation has left a lasting impression on the community of Corpus Christi, making it a legendary part of the city's history. For those brave enough to visit the site, be warned, you might still feel a ghostly presence watching from the shadows, reminding you that some spirits never truly move on. And that brings us to the end of our exploration of chilling and mysterious stories from Texas. These tales are not just urban legends, they are frightening pieces of history that have shaped the identity of this place. If you felt a chill run down your spine and your heart racing, then that's exactly the feeling these stories aim to evoke. Thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed these spooky stories, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. Let us know in the comments below which story left the biggest impression on you, or if you have your own creepy experiences to share. We'll see you in the next video, where we'll uncover even more fascinating mysteries. Wishing you a peaceful night's sleep, if you dare.